The National Eagles and Angels Association is an organization that was founded to bring together entrepreneurial growth companies and the entrepreneurs with investors and angel capital that helps these companies grow. And unfortunately, or fortunately, the ability to quickly fund growth companies is what made our country great. The ability to have efficient capital markets are what caused our country to grow. And that has been on a slow decline, and it's changed. And everything's going to change. But the issue is our companies are having difficulty competing because of the difficulty of capital. Recently out in California, there was a company that was manufacturing RVs. And RVs have historically been an American manufacturing and mostly American used product. The Chinese, they couldn't get a reasonable financing here. It's a growth company, and the Chinese came in and funded it. And you know, I owned back in the late 80s a barbecue grill manufacturing company. And at that time, barbecue grills were too big to be shipped from China, as were refrigerators, as were washers, dryers, etc. And the Chinese will never come with that. Within 2 years of me selling my barbecue grill manufacturing plant, the Chinese were doing it. And you know, now people say RVs are too big. They finance this RV company. The next thing you know, everything in the RV will be coming from there, and the jobs in California for that plant will be someplace else. Why? Because we couldn't get the capital for that company. Why? Because our capital markets are constrained by multiple things. You've got regulation that they're trying to regulate this piece, but they don't realize that it affects 3 other pieces later. You have a change in the model where private equity is funding a company, but you know, companies like Bill Gates' company Microsoft or Berkshire Hathaway, they had never taken the deal that you have today. Warren Buffett, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 90% of Berkshire Hathaway. I'm going to leave you 10. You dedicate your whole life to it, and if you work real hard, I'll give you 5% more. And that's the current model that's out there for funding these young entrepreneurs, which creates an additional problem. The problem is, now you've got the finance guys running the business because they own 90% of it. And look, finance has to have its money. Finance needs to make its returns. You know, people that take big risk need big reward, and it's worked. But the way that we're structuring private equity today is not working. And so that's why we formed this organization, because the capital formation structure is broken. And we as investors have no voice in that. From a level of Wall Street, we don't have a voice in it. We don't have a voice on it on Main Street, and we don't have a voice on it in Washington on Capitol Hill. And so that's why we formed the National Eagles and Angels Association. And how we anticipate doing this is by playing a matching between investors and people with ideas and young companies that need to grow. And so that's what we're here for. And we're not only here in Miami. We're here we're growing nationwide, and every day we have new members growing. And there are meetings like this meeting happening all around the country on a quarterly basis. So when you look at it, entrepreneurial growth companies have provided over half, and provide right now over half of our company's employment. We represent 99% of all employer firms in our nation. 55% of all noted innovations come from small companies. 95% of all radical innovations come from small companies. And to speak about Florida here, Florida, 2.1 million businesses, small businesses in Florida. 80% of the state of Florida's historical job growth has been from small companies. And so by standing together as an organization, we're hoping to speed up the process at which entrepreneurs can find capital. We're also hoping to become a voice that says, hey, this is broken. We have capital, we need to fix it. Last year, private equity put $3 billion into private companies. Investors, like the people in this room, angel investors, put $20 billion in. And so, as a group, we're a very powerful group. And yet, we don't have much of a unified voice as investors in entrepreneurial growth companies. So, as our organization grows here, we hope to speed up that process at which the ideas and the companies meet the capital and to grow jobs and make a stronger country by doing it. So I want to thank everybody here for becoming founding members of the Miami chapter, And we will be having meetings quarterly. And tonight we have a cocktail party at 6 o'clock at the Soho House.